I'll get straight to the point. Is Genshin fizzling out? And I'm not talking about the popularity of Genshin Impact. I'll be going over specific things about Genshin that have been naking me for a bit. Like the lack of quality with the English voice acting at least.
Understood. Then we should head out now. Just promise us you won't do anything reckless. You cannot face the captain straight on unless you have no other choice. You mean everything to us. Losing you would be the worst possible outcome.
With issues like the absence of sound filters like a de-esser curve, which would get rid of the sharp S sounds going to our ears. And there's probably plenty more you can think of, but I'm just naming a single thing. And to those thinking that I should play in a different dub,
Yes, I'm racist.
next is that there's no new fishing weapon in Natlan, which I don't even like fishing that much. However, what I dislike more is having less options. So removing a potential option that a character could have, as well as kinda having no reason to fish anyways because there's no reward. I just find that just disappointing, to be honest. Speaking of which, there's gonna be no new artifacts in 5.3. Like, how hard is it to make 10 PNGs, 4 effects, and some lore about them? And you don't even have to make it for Silali or Mavrika. Like, the game kinda needs something to make Superconduct more useful, or maybe something that makes Freeze useful against bosses, or literally anything at all. Next thing missing is that there hasn't been any new dungeons since Sumeru. And I'm not talking about dungeons you go into from quests like for a character's story. I'm specifically talking about the one-time domains where you do the domain once and then the domain stays there until Genshin closes down. Never to be played with again typically. However, I miss them because it's kind of a neat thing to go for that isn't an Oculus, because that and also the rings are the only reason you explored Natlan. And before in Fontaine it was just the Oculus, and now the world is just a bit more empty with less and less reasons to explore it. And finally, for Natlan itself, art-wise, has not been great. I'll just say when I looked up fan art of all the Natlan maps, everyone thought it was going to be a volcanic type map, filled with scorched earth, lava pools, and rivers that are above ground and having very dry and rocky terrain. Like this old fan-made map from 3 years ago showcasing Natlan as a mostly volcanic, black, and rocky place with signs of green up north. And this map from March 2023, which shows us another Natlan with kind of the same things with the greens up north and the volcanic terrain throughout most of Natlan, but has a unique wasteland area at the bottom right, which would be like gray and dusty, I guess. Last but not least, with this one probably being my favorite, with it having dusty brown and beige throughout most regions, with a southern part being black and a northern green part being a rainforest. However, in the Natlan we got, it's an overly colored Badlands, looking like a place for festivities, not really a place that has been ravaged by war. There's not really any lava, and there's at least one volcano. And Natlan looks as if you combine Mondstadt, Liyue, Inazuma, Sumeru Jungle, and Fontaine scattered into one region for each clan zone. With all that's missing from it is anything pyro related, which isn't really represented above ground, and the only thing that may come close is the sulfurous veins area, which kinda gives a volcanic vibe, I guess. But for the stuff that's actually ravaged, it looks great. Like the Nursery of Nightmares having a black and purple aesthetic. And also Okanagan and Tonatula looks unique and great overall, with Okanagan being tall and daunting and Tonatula having a bright and heavenly feel to it. But in the end, it's just Natlan is a bit too green for me. Hopefully this upcoming volcano era, which correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's called Mare Javari, but surely it'll look similar to Black Rock Mountain from World of Warcraft or something. Okay, bye bye.